Ancestors protect me. May they protect you.
This is getting out of hand. Now there are two of them.
I'm a ready teddy.
Well, get bent, turkey.
Hey, I'm a child of divorce. Give me a break.
Potatoes.
But you know what's on my mind right now? It ain't the coffee in my kitchen.
Forget about it.
They're called harpulary batteries.
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you.
Hey, I'm a nice guy.
That is a very deep cut.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Deep Cut Movie Review Podcast. I'm your host, Dylan, joined by...
That's right, my name's Armand.
This is our first episode, so bear with us as we try to figure out how to put a movie review podcast together. Today, for our first episode, we are talking about Backrooms.
That's right. It's very exciting, huh?
Yeah.
If I'm sure everyone has seen it by now. This
Yeah.
will be the last podcast you hear about
Yes.
it.
Yeah, we understand that by the time of this releasing, we're very late to the Backrooms conversation, as well as probably some of the next couple episodes that are going to be coming out.
So going into this movie, I had no idea about the lore. I just kind of went into it looking to see a cool new A24 movie. So Dylan was the one that had much more knowledge about this going on. So
Yeah, I saw like the original Backrooms short film. Probably not when it like first released on YouTube, but like around the time that like it was circulating on the internet and stuff. And yeah, it's cool to see like um, the YouTube series like grow and then get recognition from A24, and for Kane Parsons to like fully kind of realize his vision with the whole Backrooms world, but with like an actual like Hollywood studio budget. Um, but I also feel like um, you don't need to like the questions that the end of Backrooms will like leave you with if you don't know anything about the lore or anything. Going back and watching the YouTube videos just gives you a broader context of things. It doesn't necessarily give you answers to the questions that the movie gives the audience. So I think that's kind of cool that like it acts as the movie acts as like a expansion, another like chapter within the whole series.
yeah.
But for a brand new audience member that doesn't know anything about the lore and all that stuff, it can also act as an entry point.
And it definitely can, and it did for me. I thought overall I thought it was like really cool, the concept of it and everything. I didn't think it was super crazy, but that being said, again, like just with it's one that you definitely have to think about a lot more, like after seeing, and just really try to digest like what it is that you're seeing and what's going on, like all the symbolism and meanings behind everything.
Yeah.
Because I just started watching the YouTube stuff, and I'm almost done with all of it. I just have like 2 more videos left, and yeah, the YouTube stuff is really cool, super interesting, creepy, and can be scary and stuff like that. So like, and that does paint a better picture of like what is going on, but still there's still so much room to theorize, like, and have your own theory, and just kind of, if you're not sure.
Yeah, it like doesn't it's like what I said, it doesn't like answer questions, it just gives you a broader context of like what the whole Backrooms world is like, and I guess gives you better understanding of like uh stuff like async.
And a space.
Yeah, and like but also like broadens the mystery around like the life forms that exist within the backrooms, you know, like
Hmm.
um because there's definitely a difference between like the still lifes that you see like in the film versus the like squiggly monster entity things
Hmm.
in like the short films. Um, but neither the YouTube series or the movie give you like a complete like full answer of like where those beings come from or
Hmm.
like how they're created or you know because I think the whole premise behind the backrooms both in the YouTube series and the movie it's the whole like mystery box kind of thing like that's what makes it so intriguing is it doesn't give you any answers it's
Hmm.
kind of left up to like the viewer's interpretation and like piecing together like the bits of information that you know
Yeah, that's the fun part. You
yeah
know, you can. It's up to your viewpoints and kind of to figure out what's going on.
hmm
All right, so let's jump into it. So Dylan, how do you feel about the movie? What was some of your favorite stuff?
I absolutely loved it like the whole vibe I thought the movie was perfect like
Hmm.
it was everything that I was like hoping it would be um and I would say like probably right off the bat one of my favorite scenes was when Mary is watching her like childhood home be destroyed like the sidewalk with like the handprints and stuff
Hmm.
because just that concept of like the impermanence of your childhood that just like really resonated with me right off the bat of like oh that's like really strong yet simple and striking like imagery and I love how like you see them like the guys with the sledgehammers like they're
Hmm.
making their way up to the hands and then right before the guy is gonna like hit where the handprints are it just cuts like you don't actually see it
Hmm.
and then the next time it's referred to like you see that Mary has like the piece of the
That's so
handprint
she like stopped them.
yeah or
Like,
like
no, my hand.
I pictured that she like waited till they left or
Mm,
something and then went back and picked it up or something or
mm.
maybe after they smashed the shit out of it she went up and was like can I keep one of those
Maybe
yeah
like right before he saw her looking at it, he was like, "Hey, you want this?"
yeah I'll break you a piece yeah I would say that was my favorite scene
Nice.
what did you think what was your favorite
So,
part and
so I again, I really liked it. Seeing it, it wasn't connected. I didn't have all that back story to it. So like, it definitely didn't like blow me away. Like I feel like it did you, and other people. Um, I thought the initial concept and just the lore of it were the most interesting and intriguing part of it. And now that I've been going back and watching all the stuff, it's just yeah, it's super interesting.
mhm.
For the film itself, I feel like my favorite parts were definitely the intro. I feel like the intro like was the most reminiscent of the actual YouTube
Yeah
series.
yeah
And
it kind of gives you like a for the people that aren't aware of the YouTube series like
mm,
this is what the YouTube series is like
yes.
kind of thing like the VHS vibe the found footage POV
Hmm.
and also like not knowing what the fuck is going on
Hmm. And that's the thing, like I feel like I would have liked to have seen more of that. Like
mm-hmm.
especially after like watching the YouTube stuff because it's really crazy how like the beginning of the YouTube stuff it's like you're seeing different things but you don't know what they mean and then it all connects later on in the series.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like it and the movie does that too, but it more so focuses on a different side of the backrooms
Mm-hmm.
of these people who are kind of just accidentally going into it, which we do see that in the series, but I feel like the series more focused on like the async side of it,
Mm-hmm.
and which is really cool. So like,
Yeah, because all the like found footage videos in the series, like the very first one, of like the boy that no clips, and then I think the second one
Mhm.
is the girl that no clips in there, and then the very last one is another just like random guy that somehow no clips into the back rooms. Um, but in all three of those videos, you don't learn anything about the person that's filming. There's no storyline that for like that POV character,
Mhm.
like other than just them exploring the backrooms kind of thing. Whereas the backrooms movie, I feel like the only like real, point A, point B story that we get is through the two main characters, Mary and Clark, and
Mhm.
then everything else with the back rooms is just like the mechanism that pushes the story, like um I
Is these two characters?
yeah, because I feel
Mhm.
like no matter what, Clark would have eventually like um not wanted to change, and
Yeah.
whether he discovered the back rooms or not.
But yeah, so that's also like what's just so exciting about it, because in the film it's like we see this other side of the back rooms pertaining to these two characters, and like what what they go through. Seeing that, it brings up a lot of questions, like what does do these events mean, and what's happening to them,
Hmm.
and like how it's affecting the back rooms and how it's affecting them, opposed to how we've seen it in the YouTube series, where at least so far it's like in the movie it's like such on a larger scale, to where we're seeing like this entity that is the pirate Clark.
Hmm.
Like we don't, at least from what I've seen so far, we don't see anything like that
In the
in the
YouTube
YouTube
series,
series.
yeah. I've seen stuff online where people think that I think it's the Pitfalls
Hmm.
episode, when the guy accidentally falls down
Yeah.
the Pitfalls room, the entity that he sees like really blurry at the end of the hallway. I've heard people think that that's Pirate Clark, because it like is roughly the same height and like kind of has the same kind of lanky proportions.
Hmm.
Um,
And
but
it was, not to mention, it was in more of like a neighborhoody looking area.
that is true,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah. In that episode, the reason why the neighborhood shows up is because it's like a pre-existing thing, or like a byproduct from like Mary and Clark being in there,
Hmm.
kind of thing. Um, but it's like being misremembered, or like
Yeah, you're talking about in the movie, right? Or you're talking about in the YouTube thing?
in the YouTube
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
series.
Yeah.
Because in the YouTube video, it's when he like goes underneath that gap,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then there's a tunnel, and then it's like the neighborhood, but it's in like red lighting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah, that like the neighborhood setting from that could be in
From
the
the
back
movie.
room. Yeah, in the back rooms because of the events of the movie,
Hmm.
kind
Hmm.
of thing. Yeah. Another thing that like a lot of people I haven't seen talk about is the YouTube series establishes that time isn't linear within the backrooms,
Hmm.
because there's I can't remember the name of the video, but it's the one where the async team goes in there, and then one of them
Trails off.
trails off, and he sees the group like going down the hall, and then there's like a flash of light, they disappear, and then later on in the series you find out that the guy that trailed off uh essentially went forward
Yeah.
in time.
2 months.
Yeah, 2 months
Hmm.
in the back rooms, um, and like discovered in the async gateway or whatever. Like, but at the time of his team going in and him like trailing off and stuff, that gateway wasn't even built yet. And um, so I think that my theory for the film is that Pirate Clark is not a still life. That's the real Clark, who's just been in the back rooms for such a long time. And there's, the nonlinear time slippage stuff. So a version of Clark uh, two versions of Clark can exist at the same time, like two real versions. Um, and yeah, because there's other evidence like what I've heard like Kane Parsons referred to as like the throne room scene where we see like the chair with the shoes
Mhm.
halfway in the floor. Those shoes are uh,
Kate
Cat
and
Cat
yeah.
and Bobby's,
Mhm.
and at that point they hadn't been in the back rooms.
Mhm.
But I've also heard theories that like the back rooms feeds off of whatever space is connected to like the no clip zone. So
Mm.
like for years it could have been feeding off, the furniture store.
Yeah.
So I've heard like the throne room could be a byproduct of like it trying to recreate the moment that like Clark was filming his commercial with
Mhm.
Cat and Bobby.
Interesting. Yeah, I definitely it would make sense, and like I definitely think it depends on like who's going in there.
Another, I think, piece of evidence of some time slippage thing and also a potential connection to the YouTube series is when Clark, Bobby, and Kat are exploring that like chute that
Hmm.
goes down to the room that has like the pile of clothes and where Pirate Clark is. I guess you'd call it like Pirate Clark's hovel or whatever. I've heard that like on one of the piles you see like the shirt that Bobby's wearing, but
Mm.
obviously like he's still wearing his shirt.
Yeah.
Um, and then I've also heard that like you see like one of like the async guys like in the yellow suits, like a dead one like in the pile or something. Because in the YouTube video where supposedly we see Pirate Clark, I can't remember like does the monster get him in that one or does he get away?
No, he gets away
Okay.
unless it's not on camera because it's
Oh no, yeah, because he returns. He like gives them the footage, and then the scientists are like reviewing the footage of like whatever he saw down the hall, right?
yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was Marvin.
Yeah, Marvin, yeah. And also, I guess a side note is what Mary is trying to do at the start of the third act. So, for I guess context, if you're listening to this and haven't seen the movie, first act establishes our main character Clark and his therapist Mary, and then I would say at like what like the end of the second act is when Clark uh, now lost to the back rooms and has decided to leave reality and just stay there. He calls his therapist to tell him that he's never coming back. So then
Mhm.
at the start of the third act, she goes to his store, goes down to the basement, sees the doorway, like blue tape doorway that he's created, um, and then decides to go in there to hopefully, in theory, pull him out. Um, I feel like that's a metaphorical representation of like what a therapist's job is. You know,
Yeah.
the back rooms. Um, I feel like it creates spaces in real time as you go deeper in, and it feeds off of the memories of whoever is in there. Um, Especially if you're not wearing like the async hazmat suit. And I think that might be
Mm.
the significance of why they wear hazmat suits. What about you? Did the film inspire any theories for you, Armand?
Yeah, so like but my theories are kind of all over the place just because there's just so much going on and like it's really hard to kind of pinpoint what's going on because at the beginning of the film we already see that there's stuff from the furniture store in it,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
The signs and the furniture and whatnot. So it definitely could be feeding off the place. But my initial like reactions or thoughts were like
But Pirate Clark,
was in the beginning as
yeah,
well.
is the one that attacks the employee. So I think
Yeah.
that async employee is forward in time. like after Clark has already been in there and.
That's true. Yeah. So it doesn't really say when it happened, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So like my initial thoughts, like especially with like the ending, we were seeing the Backrooms expand,
Yeah,
like all these different things
from her memory.
from her memory,
Mhm.
and but then initially I thought the very last one of her, like when we see Mary, but
Yeah,
she's
just
a
sitting there and she's a
still
still life.
alive.
Yeah.
I was thinking that's Phil's memory now,
Oh, interesting.
and now it's evolving from that
Mhm.
because he did say himself he was in the back rooms.
Yeah, but I would assume that whenever he's been in the back rooms, he's wearing like a hazmat suit.
Yeah.
Um, so that's why I think that like because we see uh the back rooms, for lack of a better term, create slash distort a version of two characters that we've seen in the back rooms not wearing hazmat suits.
Hmm.
So I feel like it, I don't know, I think it kind of leaves it open ended on if it creates a copy of you. Because, like, the other still
Hmm.
lifes that we see, a lot of people I've seen say that the redheaded woman, the still life, is Clark's ex wife.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I don't think that that's the case because he does the role play thing with Mary in the kitchen
Hmm.
and like cuts off that woman's hair to put it on Mary. Um, but if a version of his ex-wife is standing right there, then like he could just essentially yell at her, or like I just don't think. And then also that implies that like the guy with the lamp, um, and the shirt guy
Hmm.
with the eyes,
Hmm.
um, that they're also like somehow people from Clark's life, but
Yeah.
he obviously doesn't know who they are because he even says, you know, somewhere out there there's a guy with a lamp and a guy
Yes.
with a striped shirt. So um yeah.
The thing is like, yeah, that's true. But like, then that also just plays into the fact that just like how it just mixes kind of everybody's kind of thing at some point.
Yeah.
I will say that with the wife, I still do think it's probably like at least maybe her
Hmm.
because we do see a picture of her and she has red hair in the
Hmm.
picture, and I think at that point he knows these things aren't real or there aren't people,
Hmm.
and he has her there. He's not gonna like just talk to this dummy.
Yeah, because he does say something because he asks her to get the lights and then
Hmm.
she doesn't move and then he's like, we've tried this exercise and
Oh
stuff
yeah,
like
yeah. There
yeah,
you
yeah.
go. There you
So
go.
I can see that evidence.
Probably beating that booty.
But he also doesn't. I feel like he would acknowledge that that's his ex-wife. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't like call her by name or
Hmm.
anything like that. But I have heard a theory that the guy in the not in the wheelchair, the guy with the lamp,
Hmm.
his character's name is Archibald Leland Stutter. Um, that he was the original furniture store owner.
Mm.
Um, so like, yeah, I don't know. I think the three still lifes that we see are just still lifes like the backrooms remembering people who have been in the backrooms.
Hmm.
But then uh Pirate Clark is real Clark
Hmm.
because when Mary is like defending herself with the handprint rock and hitting him in the head, like he bleeds blood, even though
True.
like in
The still lifes were all just white
yeah, like
glue.
styrofoam or
Yeah.
whatever. Um, which that line is crazy. Best part is you can eat them.
Yeah.
Like, um,
You know, I just thought though.
yeah.
What about the guy with the eyes that they cut open?
Hmm.
He's kind of reminiscent of the electrician guy.
I've heard that. Yeah. That it could be like a misremembering of the electrician,
Hmm.
which is definitely possible. Because that's the whole Backrooms shtick is like misremembering stuff. But I don't know. I feel like the two actors are too different looking.
Hmm.
I get that
Yeah,
like they're both kind of like
it's definitely something
stout.
that didn't me fat. No, it's definitely something I didn't like think of right away. So it's not like it's an easy like
Yeah, I assumed it was the same thing as the Archibald Leland Stutter character of like it's just some
yeah, just
other
somebody.
yeah still life that's in there. Because Phil even says that like doors are opening up
Yes.
all the time. So that means that like people are getting pulled into the back rooms, not in the same area, but like you know people are leaving behind memories and
Hmm.
stuff like that. And I think because Mary was in there, without like a hazmat suit and all that stuff, the back rooms not only remember all of like and recreate those spaces from like her memory, but also remember her as like a still life. So Mary is
Hmm.
probably real Mary is probably still in like async
Async.
custody, but now there exists a still life Mary roaming around or maybe just sitting still.
Just crying.
Yeah. um, One thing I did think was cool I wanted to point out. So, uh, Mary and her mom, there's that scene where like Mary's about to like look out the window, but like her mom, you know, comes out of nowhere and is like stops her. And we get the sense of like Mary's mom is going through some sort of like schizophrenia or like uh, mental episode um, where, as a result, Mary is not allowed to leave her house. Uh, I think you even see like the door is like barricaded
Yeah.
and stuff. So that's obviously like a traumatic childhood thing of like being trapped in a space that you can't leave because an authoritative figure is telling you like no you can't look out the window like you can't leave. And that's exactly where Mary ends up by the end of the story, but
Yeah.
in async custody, where like they're not giving her straightforward answers, um, but they're denying her the ability to leave and have agency. So I just thought that was kind of interesting, like
Yeah.
both in Mary and Clark, like in both of their like stories, there's sort of like a metaphorical like connection. Um, and
Both get stuck in a loop.
yeah, yeah, and yeah, both get stuck in a loop, which I
Hmm.
think doesn't the film open with like
The whole monologue about.
yeah, the whole monologue about loops. Armand, what are your thoughts on like liminal horror and I guess like found footage style horror?
I think
Because
it's cool. Like the liminal horror, it's not scary to me. So it's not like
same.
I wouldn't put it like it's horror, I guess. But I think it's super cool. Like just the whole layout of the back rooms and just I thought it's super interesting. It can be a little disorientating and claustrophobic.
Hmm.
Um, I don't find it scary. As for like the found footage stuff, yeah, I've always been a fan of that ever since I saw Cloverfield.
Oh
You
yeah,
know, and I know like a big pushback for that was like, oh, it makes my head hurt.
yeah, it makes me
But
nauseous.
so I really like the found footage stuff. Like I feel like with this one they did a good job at like implementing it, obviously because like that's like a big focal point of like the YouTube series,
Hmm.
and the way they like meshed it uh, was really cool.
Yeah, I don't think that like as far as liminal space horror and found footage horror, I don't think Backrooms does anything like innovative or like new
Hmm.
with it, but it is those are two forms of like a subgenre of horror, I guess, that are cool to see be adapted like on the screen again. Because
yeah,
like it's been a while since found footage. That would have been like what the paranormal activity movies.
There's this one gone GM Haunted Asylum. I don't know if I even said that right, but it was
Mhm.
2018 Korean found footage supernatural horror.
Okay, yeah, so that for sure would have been after the paranormal activity movies. I kind of dropped off with those movies, so I'm not sure when the last one came out
Yeah, so I only saw
was.
like the first one.
But I feel like found footage as like an aesthetic or like an aspect of a horror film we haven't seen in a while. Like it's been
Hmm.
absent from like the movie screen. So it's cool to like see that come back and see in the YouTube series what is entirely a digital space um, be created as like a practical set.
Hmm.
Um, and like I think they built like some crazy um, like just huge set of the back rooms.
They did it fast too.
Mhm.
It was only like what, a few months of filming.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I don't know what the time for like pre-production was for that, but like it's just cool seeing like the behind the scenes stuff of like um, just the entire space is
Yeah.
like the back rooms, and like I can only imagine how cool that was to like be on set
Hmm.
and like I'd imagine maybe like the first couple of days of filming, people would like turn a corner and get lost, or like it was just surreal to like be in a whole 360 view kind
Everyone
of
starts clipping out.
yeah. um, but yeah, I thought the set design was awesome, and like I'm pretty sure that scene where Mary has to climb up those like steps to
Mm.
like the little tiny door, it looked like they did like a old Hollywood trick of like creating a miniature of like the multiple levels and then compositing the shot to make it look like the floor just went straight down
Hmm.
to like all these levels. Um, but it was really cool how like Backrooms didn't use like for like the series being mostly like made in a computer. It
Yeah.
was cool that like the movie, despite it having a much larger budget, they decided to like do things mostly practical, and like digital effects is like really limited, and it's kind of just they used like the shot where Clark goes into the throne room and there's that pit that it's like filled with discarded chairs.
Yeah.
Um, the floor actually doesn't go down that that way. Like that's
Mm.
like they put like a blue screen thing there and then composited it going down. Otherwise, like the whole set would have had to been lifted, you
Yeah.
know, a couple feet or whatever.
Mhm.
Um, so it's cool. Like they pulled everything off so like seamlessly, but with like without using crazy CGI. You
Mhm.
know, um, so it's just cool to see
Yeah,
like
even Clark. I'm sure
oh
like he
yeah,
was.
yeah, Captain Clark,
Yeah.
played by Robert, yeah, Rob Rocksky, I think. Uh, I think the last movie he was in was Alien Romulus
Mhm.
as the what is it like a
Human baby Xeno, something
isn't
like
it like a xenomorph
and a human.
engineer hybrid or something?
More human and human Xeno hybrid.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
it's
we did come from the engineers, so.
yeah, yeah. Okay, that's I didn't see Alien Romulus, but I'm aware
Oh,
of like
it's
some of the
good.
lore up until I think like
I have my
uh
gripes with it, but it's good.
yeah. What was the one? Covenant? Was it the
Yeah.
one before
Yeah.
Romulus? Yeah, that's where I stopped with those films. But I've seen Robert's scene on YouTube,
Yeah.
um, and it's cool that like he's getting roles
Yeah.
for these like movie monster characters that are
This is not so bad to have scoliosis, huh?
yeah, yeah. All right, so the film's Backlash.
Yeah, he's been getting a lot.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't think it deserves a lot of it. I mean, some of it, like, I can kind of like empathize with
Yeah.
because, like, if you go into it not knowing anything and you're expecting the movie to give you answers by the end of it, then you're going to be dissatisfied
Yeah, 100%.
because it, in the full context of everything, this is only a piece of a larger story.
Exactly. It's connected to something that's bigger than itself, and it's a thinker one. You know,
Mhm.
it's not just like you watch it and you can shit whatever you just saw. You really kind of there's a lot more to it that you're gonna have to like squint your eyes at.
Yeah, and chew on,
Yeah, suck on it, all kinds of stuff.
suck on it, see what comes out.
Yeah. Mm. Some
Um,
backroom juice.
I've heard people say that it has no plot, which I think is kind of crazy because there is a plot.
Yeah.
It's Clark's descent into madness, and then Mary's whole plot is kind of like what I was saying before. Like she finds herself in a loop of now being stuck in a space that she can't leave.
Yeah,
Um,
character arcs.
yeah, and that there's no character arcs, but there is
They definitely
because
have arcs. Yeah.
yeah, I would say like a character arc. I think a lot of people think it means that like the character is supposed to overcome their problem or their flaw and then
Mm-mm.
change by the end. But a character arc can still be the character acknowledges that they have an opportunity to make that change, but them deciding to not change is their character arc.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Or
um,
even just a character just staying the same, or just going further down the wrong path.
mhm,
You know, and that's the thing. But like we see how like Clark started out at the beginning of the movie, like being this, just angry, kind of stubborn,
mhm,
like always like blaming other things for his problems,
mhm,
kind of guy. And like at the end of it, it's like yeah, he chooses to kind of still be that way, and
mhm.
he is still that way, but we also see that be the death of him,
Yeah,
and that is in itself is an arc, you
yeah,
know.
yeah. I agree, 100%.
Yeah. And Mary's arc was more.
I think less literal and like less in your face. Because I haven't seen a lot of people talk about like the irony of Mary's opening monologue talking about loops and stuff, and
Mhm.
then as we learn about her childhood with her mom being trapped in the house, then by the end of the film being trapped by async, I haven't really seen a whole lot of people acknowledge that like
Yeah.
that is like a form of a character arc. Like
Mhm.
um you know Mary starts off as a character that is saying, sort of championing the idea that you can break away from that loop, but then she also, I guess, has like an unsuccessful character arc because she also kind of just abandons her own advice too. Like when she's talking to Clark in the kitchen, because the whole time, in their therapy sessions, like she's been really patient with him and like words things kind of like in a fragile way.
Mhm.
But then in her like most vulnerable position of being like tied to a chair, like in the back rooms and like talking to Clark as a knife and like surrounded by still lifes and stuff, like she has that part where she like just breaks and just yells at him of like,
Mhm.
this is why your wife really left you. It's because of the whining and because everything is someone else's problem or like someone else's fault,
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, like really like that's like her not being a professional therapist is the thing that really breaks through to Clark.
Mhm.
But it's like what we were talking about before of like he has that realization of what his real problem is, but instead of wanting to resolve it, change, return back to the real world, he just wants to stay in the back rooms where like
Mhm.
he doesn't have to confront that stuff. But what's ironic about that is Pirate Clark is this, you know, distorted monster version of Clark. Uh, Essentially, Clark is choosing to just stay and become a distorted monster,
Mhm.
and then that distorted monster eats him. So he gets consumed by his own.
Yummy.
Yeah. And that is the best part, that you can't eat them. He did say that.
Yeah. Yeah. And
So
he straight up, oh, another still life.
yeah. So actually, yeah, that I guess makes sense that both Pirate Clark and the Clark that Mary's talking to in the kitchen share that same idea. That the best part is that you can eat them.
Eat them.
Um,
But yeah, so like all those backlash about our extra plot,
mhm.
that's all just I don't that's silly. The only like backlash that like I've kind of like heard and been like okay, but even then, so like the Pirate Clark, he does look a little silly,
Yeah.
and but like it it still makes sense though to
Yeah.
like why. And again, like it's something you have to kind of just think about a little more of like what this entity is and what it means, what it symbolizes, and
Mhm.
where it come from. So that's why it's just like
Yeah.
backlash is
Yeah.
trash.
I think a lot of the backlash surrounding the film doesn't really hold a whole lot of weight
Hmm.
when you really dissect the backlash and like apply it to like what is in the film, you know? So yeah, I haven't really seen a piece of backlash that like I agree with, other than just because upon first time viewing, when someone is like going into the back rooms for the first time, uh, I mean, both like in the found footage intro when Clark first goes in there, and then when Mary goes in there, there's long, lengthy sections where they're just slowly, cautiously walking around. And like upon first time viewing, you're sort of in their shoes of like what's behind the corner kind of thing, or like what's hiding in the darkness, expecting something to pop out and for like shit to hit the fan. Um, but then nothing really happens. Like, uh, in a lot of those moments. Um, and it's just there to like create tension and suspense and stuff. But um, upon second time viewing, I feel like those scenes can be considered boring. But if you watch it a second time, like because you're not so focused on what's around the next corner, you can kind of stop and like appreciate the set design more, notice little details of like I think there's a part where like Clark is uh I think when he's like first exploring the back rooms and he like is going down, it's like a room slash hallway or something, and on the floor there's like an oversized crutch, like wooden crutch.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah, I
about?
do.
And I think that's before the throne room scene. Uh but I know it's before like we see Pirate Clark.
Yeah.
But like that oversized crutch is obviously from Pirate Clark.
Mm-hmm.
Because when real Clark is filming the commercial, he has like the peg leg setup thing, but he also has like a wooden crutch
Mm-hmm.
that he's using. And I think you also see the parrot that he had on his shoulder
Yeah.
is like halfway in the floor or something at one point. Um, and But what's cool about like the parrot thing is like people probably don't notice that because of the seagulls,
Mm-hmm.
because they establish like so anytime you see like a bird or feathers on the floor, we immediately assume that it's just from the seagulls and not connecting it to the pirate
Mm-hmm.
thing and the parrot and all that stuff.
And which seagulls are still very in the realm of pirates in the sea.
Oh yeah.
Especially when that guy in the intro he ran into that room and it was all like tropical
Yeah.
kind of going.
Yeah, that's a good point. Armand, how do you think you would survive in the back rooms? And what if you were given the option, what three items would you bring with you to be able to survive?
So, it depends. So just to, if I was in like Clark's position,
Yeah,
where it was
let's
like,
say when you're like no clipping into the back rooms, you're starting in the same room that Clark starts in.
so if it was something like that, mad chilling, dude.
Mhm.
Fucking literally a doorway, to a secret hangout spot. You could just go in there, fucking get your PlayStation, bring some comics. Nobody's gonna bother you. You might see a pirate kind of pop in and that there, and they might try to eat you, but you just get out.
Yeah.
Use your lead. What
Yeah.
is he gonna come through the door? It's too tall.
But the thing is, though, is like when you jump back into reality, the next time you hop into the back rooms, you don't know how much time has actually passed in the back rooms. So like
On my PS5 must be all rusty.
either that, either it's all rusty or it's just gone or destroyed.
Fucking pirate Clark took it.
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
just there though, just fucking
Yeah, he's
gaming
playing
up.
it.
He's like, yo,
Yeah, he's like already beaten.
Yeah, he's like,
like all your games.
got any more games?
Yeah, he's
Oh,
learned
damn.
English through playing your games.
Damn, but fucking yeah, no, like if it was something like that, I definitely think it'd be matched up. But like, and then if it comes to like being limited to take anything in there, but again, that depends. If it's a situation where like it can easily go in and out, like Clark, then yeah, fucking take my PlayStation, fucking take some comics, some fucking big ass TV.
Okay.
and,
None of those three things are
and
food or water.
and a mini fridge. Oh wait, but that's
which
already
is
4.
also not food or water.
But what if I fill the mini fridge with food and water? So it's one thing now.
That's
right?
a loophole
Mhm.
that I'll allow you to exploit.
That's it. So
Okay.
then do that, chilling. If it was something like I fell into it, like that one,
Unexpectedly.
yeah, and I
Yeah.
can't get out.
Yeah.
I don't know how to get out.
Mm.
How long would it last? I think with the knowledge I have right now,
Mm-hmm.
I'd last a good while. Maybe
Like a month.
maybe a month. I could, because then at that point it's like food, water, like
Yeah.
being attacked. But I know I can eat them.
Yeah.
So,
So you can get sustenance
I
while
can
in
get
there.
sustenance, and I know that I could find a way out.
How would you be able to sleep in there? That would be
That's a
my
good
biggest
thing.
fear is like being awake and conscious and like I mean I wouldn't even go so far as to like I'm gonna go explore the back rooms. Like if it's a you gotta stay in here for a week challenge, then I'm just picking a room near near the exit
Yeah.
and then just chilling there for a week.
So then, what 3 things would you take if you're chilling there for a week?
Probably like a big jug of water
Mm-hmm.
that I can just parcel out throughout that week. A watch so I can have some sense of
That's
time.
that's a good idea.
And then probably some kind of weapon,
Yeah,
like a
that's what I'm
knife
saying.
or a gun.
I thought gun, but then ammo.
But it's kind of like the cheat with the fridge filled with the mini fridge filled
Yeah.
with just have the gun already loaded.
So, but then even then, that's like X amount of bullets.
Yeah, yeah. But you only have to be in there for a week. So if you are just keeping count of how much your ammo is or how much ammo you have, you know, and only use it when absolutely necessary, then yeah,
Like Deadpool.
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, for
Keep a
me,
tally.
definitely still the fridge. Drink some water, and then probably like a katana. I'm really good with katanas. All sorts of jutsus. Anyways, but for a third thing, it's kind of hard. Might be fun. Like a ladder,
Oh yeah.
like a collapsible one. No one that wouldn't be too hard to move around, but also still
Yeah.
big enough to where I can get to like a decent spot.
Yeah, like high up spots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we know you can go through the ceiling parts, right? There's not
Oh,
really
like
any
the
space to hang out in there.
yeah, the ceiling panels and stuff. Yeah, that is true. Because that room, like Pirate Clark's hovel,
Hmm.
I don't know if you realize it's actually like a normal Backrooms room, but just on its
Yeah.
side. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like Clark is technically going through the ceiling when he like gets
Mm.
out of that whole thing. Um,
Yeah, with the my ladder, then I can just climb out.
mhm,
Like, see ya, Bobby.
yeah,
See ya, cat. I need a rope.
yeah,
A rope would have been a good idea too, though, maybe.
yeah. I mean, I think you only need a rope and a ladder if you're planning on leaving that initial room. Because
True.
the way I'm picturing it is like if I'm starting off in the same room as Clark, um, I'm gonna create a barrier with all that furniture, that pile of furniture. I'm just gonna make a perimeter,
Oh, okay. Yeah, I forgot about that
and
aspect. With the
then
stuff already in there.
yeah, the stuff I have, the watch is just to help me keep track of how long I've been in there, and I
Hmm.
can keep like tally marks on like hours or
Try to keep was it Canadian cycle? Not a Canadian cycle.
yeah, like keep my brain in like a
The sleep cycle.
sleep cycle or
I
like
can't think of
not
the word.
lose my sense of time and
Mm-hmm.
reality and stuff. And then yeah, be sipping on my jug of water.
Mm.
Um,
It's be all Voodoo Rangers for me. Voodoo Rangers and just cold Little Caesars pizza, chilling.
crammed into a mini fridge.
Just smashed in there.
um, but yeah, and then yeah, if absolute worst case scenario, barriers breached by a still life or pirate Clark, I have the doorway right there, and I'm just, you know, I'm bailing. I quit. I
I
lose the
lose.
challenge. Yeah,
But then that's no fun.
yeah,
I feel like it should be like you have to be in there with, because then yeah, you can just bail whenever
yeah,
you want.
No, I feel like there should be a tap out option because then you run the risk of like losing the person.
Yeah, but then that's also my point. It's like, oh, then I can just like chill and not really think about like I have to survive with these three items.
Hmm.
Because with the ladder, I could shoo still life away, even if Pirate
Yeah.
Clark comes at me. Just fucking unfold it. I'll use it like a ram kind of thing. Like, get away from me.
Oh yeah. Because it would create a distance
Yes.
longer than his arm length.
Yeah, or his dirty little peg.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, fucking just ram his peg.
Oh yeah. There you
chilling.
go. And then yeah, he's kind of
Just crawling around.
yeah, just crawling around. Yeah, then you can easily outrun him.
I'll give him a little slice of pizza and then like,
Yeah.
Actually, I don't want to eat you.
Yeah, and then you really do have to just find a high up spot.
See?
Yeah, that is true. But also your second scenario of just no clipping in there, like without preparation time to bring shit.
Mm-hmm.
I think I could also survive for like maybe like a month.
Yeah.
But I think the harder thing about that is it's an indefinite amount of time.
Yeah.
So it's like it's kind of just like one battle after another kind of thing of like even if you come across like a life form or a still
like
life
Leonardo DiCaprio or something.
And also too like you don't know if you're like going deeper into the back rooms or like you don't have a sense of direction of like where an exit is
just in there.
but I also feel like with kind of like what you said with the knowledge that you have going into it I do think I could recognize where there would be like
more decrepit kind of
like a null what is it, a null point,
Yeah,
null
null
zone, where you can no clip back into reality.
There's no clip out of the top of the building.
Yeah.
Just fall.
But then there would also be my fear of like the end of the first like original short film where like even if the kid jumped down the thing, he would have died anyways because the no clip zone is like in the middle of the sky. So he just he would have fallen to his death and
My rating for Backrooms out of 5 would probably be a 4. I'd give it a 4-star rating. Yeah, the only reason why it's not, I guess, like a 5 for me is I just wish it was like 30 minutes longer. Like we just got a little bit more context or just story or stuff to chew on. Because, I mean, it definitely is like a movie that you can keep revisiting and pull stuff from and realize new things and stuff. But just for the initial experience, like first time watching it, like my takeaway was like, man, I wish that was just a little bit longer. But what's your rating?
So that makes it easier for me to answer because I was having a hard time with this at first. For going initial, out of 5, a 3.
Okay, that's fair.
I know, and it sucks because like it seems so low, but out of 5, it's just like right in the middle.
Yeah.
But it's after reviewing everything else that's connected to this, it makes me want to push that higher.
Yeah.
But that's the thing though. It's like trying to look at it just like isolated. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with the 3. Yeah, because again, I did want to see more of it. I wanted to see more of the horrorness, but the just kind of aspect from the show. Yeah. And I do agree if we would have gotten like a little more to kind of like really sink our teeth into, because a lot of it was very vague and up for interpretation. So if we got a little more concreteness to it, I think that would have definitely pushed it up.
Yeah, I agree. And I also feel like if the third act was a little bit more like terrifying, or like if that's where they really ramped up how weird the Backrooms can be. But I also really like, kind of like what we were saying earlier in the episode, like the minimalness of the whole film, that like it kind of doesn't need to give you like some crazy ramped up third act, boss fight kind of thing.
But if anything, if they would have the third act being a little more looking into async, that I think that that's what like definitely craves that.
Yeah, the YouTube series, it gives you just enough to where you have an understanding of what async does, but it doesn't give you enough, or like what it gives you just intrigues you on, like you want to know more about what they've been up to, what they know about the Backrooms. And like out of all the characters in the film, Phil has, like in all likelihood, the most answers, or like ideas of an answer to questions of the Backrooms and stuff. But the one major scene that he's in, he doesn't really give anything away of like how stuff works. And
I'm just thinking about this now because it's like literally like the whole thing. We're in the perspective of somebody going into the back rooms and async observing us, opposed to like, of course he's not going to be like, oh yeah, we had these and like in a way like mention like the YouTube series, oh we had these prior things going on. They're not gonna disclose that information.
just exposition dump.
Maybe if it was something like, maybe it was we at one point we shift to kind of Phil's perspective where we do kind of get to see the inner workings of async a little more. That would have been that actually probably would have been.
Yeah, because like what we only get of Phil is obviously like when he's at work looking at the clip of Clark, but that's just like a single shot really. And then when he's with his family, and I actually think that might be Clark's ex-wife.
That'd be crazy. It just turns into a whole love triangle thing.
That could be an aspect. That could have been why Phil was like so surprised to see Clark, because it could be like because he's already familiar with Pirate Clark, but it's like, oh shit, it's whatever her name's ex-husband. But yeah, like I feel like if we got like a little bit more from Phil's perspective, like him like just clocking in to async, just something like really mundane, but you get just little pieces of like information of like what async is up to and what they know and stuff like that. I feel like because it does feel kind of like imbalanced, his like presence throughout the film. But
It's literally just a scientist.
yeah, but at the same time too, like it's still, the whole movie's like a mystery box thing. So like what we do see of Phil is, I think, better than just if they saved him for like just that ending. If like his only scene was him talking to Mary. But yeah, I feel like if they dived a little bit more into the async stuff, gave us a little bit more context, stuff to chew on, yeah, it'd be. But this movie for sure is going to be one that when it comes out on streaming or home video, I'm for sure going to be putting it on to fall asleep to and watch over and over. So maybe by the end of the year it'll be bumped up to a 5, but right now I think it's at a really strong 4.
Very excited to see what's.
Yes.
So then, what's the deep cut rating?
Oh, okay. So are we doing out of 10?
Yeah, out of 10, just off the bat, 4 plus 3 is 7.
7.
I think that's very fair. Yeah.
All right, so before we end the episode, we want to share a deep cut little fact about the film that we came across that we thought was interesting.
Deep cut from deep cuts.
The one that I thought was pretty cool is I don't know which one it is, but one of the async hazmat suit guys is Kane Parsons.
Cool.
Yeah, like I just thought it's cool that like he's been making those yellow suited characters digitally for the longest time. So for him to like in the physical space, like yeah, and also with a real practical costume and like
we can't even imagine what that must feel like for that guy.
Yeah.
And he was still in high school when they reached out to him, like, and they didn't even know that. Either.
Yeah,
I thought that was so funny.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But
what's your deep cut?
Yeah, I got a deep. I don't know if it's a deep cut, but so there's 2. They're more theories than deep cuts, but there's like kind of, I guess, deep cut theories if you want. First one is Mark Duplass's character, the scientist at the end.
Yeah,
is Phil, right? There was a character in the YouTube series. His name was Philip. And it said Philip, and he had a last name and everything. I tried looking into it a little bit. We don't know the last name of Phil, so
could be the same character.
Could be, probably not, considering it's Phil.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a cool little thing that like I kind of looked at that I haven't really seen other people like talk about. All right, guys. Well, hey, coming to a close here. So just wanted to say before we ended, just thanks for listening, man. This is just fun for us, and I'm sure we sound like a bunch of babbling idiots and just.
Yeah, if you made it this far into the episode, we appreciate it very much that you've stuck with us. And I guess just out of curiosity, anyone that has stuck around to this part, in the comment section, if it's available, just type in salami.
Yeah.
Just so we can get like a read of how long people are sticking along with this.
Yeah, and just any comments, any things, or like any things you guys like, things you guys dislike, If you didn't like the sound of my voice, if you like the sound of Dylan's voice, just let us know. You know, it's we'd be happy to hear everyone else's thoughts on this.
Yeah.
Because we're just two guys having fun in the garage, you know.
Yeah, talking about movies that we've seen and that we like, and so any kind of feedback, whether it's constructive criticism or just straight up mean, we can
straight up mean.
We can put to use somehow.
Yeah, I'm not even wearing clothes right now, bro.
Yeah. But thank you for joining us, and please join us next time for our discussion on the film Obsession.
Yeah, excited for that one.
Very excited.
All right, bye.
Bye.